senior ministers weeping in the truck which is carrying the body of the erstwhile Chief Minister, now of Andhra Pradesh. A very sad end indeed, something that's difficult to accept, that Dr. Rajshekhar Reddy is no more.
Sudhir, and the reactions that we're getting from politicians across the spectrum again is a classic example of how widely respected he was, not just in Andhra Pradesh but across the country.
Most definitely, Rajshekhar Reddy was seen as a politician who was able to deliver, who knew the pulse of the people of Andhra Pradesh, especially people in rural Andhra Pradesh, especially the farmer folk. He always liked to talk of himself as a chief minister of the farmers of Andhra Pradesh. He wanted to usher in a Harita Andhra Pradesh, and that was his dream, which he used to talk about. His major focus always on the irrigation projects. In fact, he was pretty upset when several of his, the few of his irrigation projects, the mega irrigation projects like the Pulichintala project, like the Polavaram project were delayed because of environmental clearances, etc. So he wanted to really push, and he had made it his objective that in the second term he would really fulfill all those major irrigation projects, and he believed that once a farmer gets that water to his field directly instead of having to wait for the rain god to show his mercy, he believed that the farmer of Andhra Pradesh will be happy, and there is no reason why they would or not vote the Congress back to power even in 2014. In fact, just 4 days back in the assembly, on the last day of the assembly session, he had said that the next time the target for the Congress party to win is to win as many as 41 out of the 42 Lok Sabha seats from Andhra Pradesh. And that's the kind of target he was putting. He already talked about projecting Rahul Gandhi as the next Prime Minister in 2014. He was a man very loyal to the Gandhi family, known to name all his pet projects after either Indira Gandhi or Rajiv Gandhi. In fact, he was appointed as the youngest president of the Andhra Pradesh Congress in 1985 by the then Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi. So he was always known as a Rajiv Gandhi loyalist. Probably that's one reason which created problems for him when the late P.V. Narasimha Rao was at the helm of affairs here in India as the Prime Minister, and Rajshekhar Reddy was known as some kind of a dissident. But once he became Chief Minister, and even before that as the leader of the opposition between 1999 and 2004, YSR displayed a great deal of maturity. During his young days, he himself would joke about how he was known as some kind of a hot-headed person, but he showed a great deal of maturity during those 5 years as the leader of the opposition, and later on as Chief Minister, showing great magnanimity in being able to appeal to the opposition parties, in being able to try and tell them that there are these projects in which they also need to support them, support the Congress party, the Congress government in power. So essentially a man known to reach out, a man known never to let down his friends. In fact, most of his friends say that it's a best gift to be YSR's friend, because if you are his friend, he will never let you down, and if he makes you a promise that he will help you in an hour of distress, he will always honor that word. So that's the kind of reputation that Rajshekhar Reddy has had during his 60 years. In fact, his son-in-law Anil Kumar arranged a special 60th birthday celebration of the Shashabda Murti just a couple of weeks back. It was a family get-together, and we are told that Rajshekhar Reddy really had a very good time. Very, very tragic that the country has lost a dynamic Chief Minister at the age of 60. He had once talked about retiring at the age of 60. In fact, he recently revised that and said that no, now I think that 60 is really not the time to retire, because I'm now enjoying my job. So fate, of course, had an evil twist, and a very unfortunate twist to that, and he was in a way very tragically forced to retire at 60. Amitabh?
Sudhir, Vishnu here. Now, any details at all, Sudhir, about the others on board the helicopter and what happens in terms of their last rites?
Well, the cremation, we are told, will be decided by the family members of the other 4 passengers, the pilot, the co-pilot, as well as the special secretary, Dr. Subramaniam, and the chief security advisor, Mr. Wesley. In fact, Mr. Wesley was appointed as the CSO in the second term of the chief minister. In fact, I remember meeting him at Jubilee Hall just a day after he was appointed. He was obviously very elated at this new position. In fact, he was in charge of the Begumpet division of Hyderabad Police. In fact, that's where the NDTV office is located in Hyderabad, and one has known him at a very personal level. So, in fact, it's a very sad loss to have lost such an upright and a dynamic police officer like Mr. Wesley in just within a couple of months of him being appointed as the chief security officer to the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh. But yes, the decision, we are told, will be taken by the family members. Most likely the last rites of these 4 members likely to take place in Hyderabad. Vishnu?
All right, Sudhir, we will come back to you momentarily. as we now see that casket bringing back the body of Rajshekar Reddy that has now come back to Hyderabad along with the other bodies that just taken place in the last couple of minutes. Let's quickly track the big headlines at this hour. Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister YSR Reddy is dead. The bodies of all 5 on board the helicopter that crashed have been flown to Hyderabad. Sonia Gandhi and the Prime Minister condole the death of Rajshekar Reddy. They will both fly to Hyderabad. Senior Minister K. Rozia is the acting Chief Minister. The Congress Working Committee meets in Delhi. Did the weather force the pilot to deviate from the flight path? A parliamentary panel to probe whether the chopper should have flown at all is being conducted. All right, the pictures that you see on your screen now are from outside the residence of the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Rajshekar Reddy. His body has been brought back to Hyderabad in just the last little while. Sudhir just described to us what we are seeing. I can tell that there are hundreds of people there, perhaps that number in the thousands. Give us an idea of this mass outpouring of grief in Hyderabad.
Not at all surprising, Vishnu, not at all surprising, given the fact that Rajshekar Reddy was always known as a mass leader, as a leader who was always loved by the people of Andhra Pradesh. And this kind of an extremely tragic twist, extremely unfortunate incident in which the people of Andhra Pradesh and the country had to lose their Chief Minister, obviously means that the people would come out on the streets of Hyderabad. The Chief Minister's office is located in the Begumpet area on the main busy road, and I can tell you, even though I'm now in Kurnool, I can tell you that that place will be chock full because people would want to see their late leader for the last time. Tomorrow, I'm sure, at the Lal Bahadur Stadium, where the body will be kept for people to pay the last respects between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. I'm sure there will be a lot of people who would be coming there, queuing up to pay the homage to Dr. Y.S. Rajshekar Reddy. We are told that the cremation will take place in Pulivendula in Kadapa district. Pulivendula is YSR's native place. Also, the constituency from where he has been elected several times, including this time from Pulivendula. In fact, Pulivendula was one place where he had really developed, and in fact, it was popularly known as the Amethi of Andhra Pradesh. The kind of development that Rajiv Gandhi did for Amethi during his days as Prime Minister, that was the kind of focus that Rajshekar Reddy did give for Pulivendula. And for any new experimental project, he always wanted it for Pulivendula. So that was the kind of focus he wanted for Kadapa. Also, his son Jagan Mohan Reddy, who is a media baron apart from being an industrialist, is also now the MP from Kadapa. It will be a huge loss for Jagan Mohan Reddy because it's only now that he has got into politics. He's a first-time MP. He really wanted to learn the ropes from his father, as it were, and he emulates his father to a great extent, even the way he delivers his speeches. So there are a lot of people for whom YSR has been a role model. For several members of his cabinet, YSR is almost like a screen hero. They look up to him, they worship him. He's their role model. In fact, I was talking to many ministers who were there in Atmakur last night. Almost 8 of the 8 cabinet ministers were there. In fact, 3 of them actually trekked with us to inside the forest. That included Agriculture Minister Raghuvira Reddy, known to be extremely close